guys, welcome back, or big welcome. Today is a little bit different, so I am going out for brunch in about 20 minutes now, and I just thought that I would record myself getting ready. So it is going to be a voiceover. It's not going to be like me actually sitting here and talking to you while I'm getting ready, because I got up and I was not in a very chatty mood, definitely not. So what I have done, however, is just shown you the products, I've filmed how I've done my makeup, and I'll just talk you through it when I go to edit. It is just a soft glam look for today because obviously I am going out and I wanted something nice and soft and subtle instead of my usual shebang makeup. If you could like and subscribe, that would really help me out. I do this sort of thing all the time, just playing with makeup. Not necessarily the voiceover stuff, but definitely the playing with makeup. So without further ado, let's get into the video because I need to go get a drink.
So as you can see, I'm going in with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumour 2 as my eye base for this look. And this is the ME5 brush made by Mitchell, just a cut crease sort of brush, and I'm just cutting the back and the front of my brush with this to carve out my eyebrows. So as you can see, just dragging that along to get a really nice cut to the brow. And I am just going to apologise as well for the really bad tan on my hands and the fact that I didn't actually bother getting dressed for the makeup in this video. Yes, I got dressed for the brunch, but I am once again in my pyjamas and I apologise. And as you can see, I actually go thoroughly around my eyebrows, the bottom and the top, just because I really want that nice defined shape. Now I'm going in with the Doll Beauty Dolly Mixtures palette, just a really lovely neutral palette. I'm then going in with one of my fluffy Morphe brushes and taking this shade here at the top, and just tapping over that P. Louise base again with my brush to make sure there's no creasing. And then just going in with a very light hand and going in the curve of my eye, so this inner part first, and then back into the product to make sure that I've got enough colour payoff, and sweeping that through to the middle as well. And then going from the corner of my eye and taking it up towards the tail of my brow. So really concentrating the colour at that corner, at that edge, and only really bringing it onto the lid to diffuse the edges of that. I don't want any harsh lines or anything like that. I want a super soft look. So really just keeping this shape that goes along the curve of the bone from my nose to the top of my eyebrow, and then taking it from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow too. So we've got this funny little shape going on, but it will all come together once the rest of the eyeshadows go on. Then taking the M433, another Morphe fluffy brush, and then going in with that bottom shade in the palette and placing that again where we've just placed that first colour, but this is just going to be a smidge darker to just really create that sort of definition. And again going on the corner of my eye where I put that first colour as well, that's going there too, just to create a nice bit of shadow and definition. So we should now have something that looks like this, and I'm just going in with some tape to place on that outer wing, just so then I've got a really nice straight line. And if you don't like people playing with the eyes, I probably wouldn't watch this bit, because it even makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. I just did that, I just took it off my eye, oh my goodness. Don't worry, I'll put it back on, but yeah, it's an uncomfortable experience, I feel. Now taking the Emma Fleming and Buff and Blend collaboration number 3 brush, and I'm going in with this nice chocolate brown in the palette. So this is now going to act as our smoky liner. So now that tape being there makes just a smidge more sense, you can be nice and heavy-handed here because the tape is there to catch all those little misdemeanors that you might produce. And I'm taking that colour right into my lash line. I want that whole lash line to be that chocolatey brown. I want a proper smoky look, and getting that lash line to be that eyeshadow colour is a big part of that. And then I'm just showing you here just how far I actually take that wing up, so right up, pretty much in line with the end of my brow. And then I just had to show you this because, oh, look how satisfying. Oh! So here I'm just taking the Beauty Bay liquid shadows, they live in my best light, in the shade Fluorite, and dabbing that onto the back of my hand. I don't want to put it like straight on my lid because as soon as that goes down it's going to be everywhere sort of thing. So using the back of my hand first and then going in with a small fluffy brush, tapping that onto my brush and then literally dabbing it on the inner part of my lid just to get this really nice shimmer. And now I've got it down where I want it with my brush, just going in with my finger to just intensify the look of that shadow. And I'm taking it quite high up as well, sort of near the brow bone. Not too far up, but enough. And yeah, loving it. And then here I'm just going back over with that shadow just in case I got any of that liquid shadow on that liner. Don't want any sort of shimmer on there. I want a nice matte winged liner, so just making sure that that's all covered. Next, going in with my Clinique moisturiser. This is just a good all-rounder. It keeps my skin really nicely hydrated. And I will just tell you as well, my skin was looking lovely and dewy beforehand anyway because I had a face mask on. Hyaluronic acid face mask to get my skin nice and plumped, and then I'm just going in with a brush to work in this moisturiser because I don't want to start heating up my face with my fingers because that'll just start my oils going. Now taking the Laura Mercier blurring primer and I'm just focusing that on my nose and sort of my T-zone pretty much, just working that in with my fingers to make sure that any sort of texture that I've got, it's really like sinking into those pores, so I've got a really nice smooth base. So now I'm going in with the Vive Skin Nova. Now this is a really lovely primer, works really well under makeup as well as just on your skin, has skincare benefits and just leaves you looking super glowy. Now I'm just putting this on the outer perimeters of my face with a brush, and I don't want to go near my T-zone, which are my problem areas where I've got any sort of texture because I don't want to be highlighting that. So this is just a really nice primer for the glow and making sure that you are looking lovely and summery. So I've just shown you there that I'm going in with the L'Oreal True Match foundation as well as the LA Girl foundation as well, because this is just a lovely, healthy looking mix. I just love these two foundations on their own and together. And I have got some tan on, so I'm trying to match the rest of my body, not technically the colour of my face. And I do definitely need to bring it down my neck as well, which I'm sure I will do. So I have sort of painted it on with a brush, and then I'm just very carefully going around my eyebrows here because I don't want to get any product in my eyebrows, but I do need to take it right up to that brow. And now I'm just going in with my wet beauty blender and just actually pressing this foundation into my skin. I'm not taking it under my eyes because that's where I'll be putting my concealer, and I don't want a layer of foundation then a layer of concealer because I don't want my under eyes looking cakey or creased or anything like that. So just going in, and all that this is doing is pressing the foundation into my skin, but it's also picking up any excess so that my base won't be looking cakey. It'll just be pressed nicely in to make it long lasting, and it won't have too much product on my skin to make it look as if I'm wearing tons and tons of makeup. And because I have active breakouts and acne scarring, I'm just going in with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer to get rid of any of those blemishes, because this is the best concealer for that. And then going over that concealer once it's been sat for a little bit and just blending out again with my sponge, making sure that everything is nicely pressed into my skin because I need a long-lasting base. Now for a bit of cream contour, I'm going in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Mahogany, which is a really gorgeous shade for bronzing the skin, and because it is a full coverage concealer, it is going to last. And then to blend that out, I'm just taking my MF4 brush, which is a Made by Mitchell brush, and that is just to press all of that product into the skin. And as you can see with this product, I actually do bit by bit from my face because I don't want the product to sit there and start setting, because of course this is a concealer and not a cream bronzer, so it will begin to set, so just little by little. And then just finally making sure that I've also bronzed my chin. So I've now gone in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer, and I've put it on the high points of my face, and I have blended it out so far on my chin. I'm leaving it just to set a little bit in the other places. And then as you can see now, I'm just lightly powdering with my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. And the reason that I just let it set a little bit more in those places is just so it was sat for a little while and that coverage could build up. And then the last bit that I've left to blend out is under my eyes, because that's where I want the most coverage. So just blending it out with my beauty blender and then going in and quickly setting those eyes in place to make sure that there is no chance of creasing. So as you saw, I only powdered in those places where I had my concealer blended out, and now I'm going in with the P. Louise coloured base in the shade Winter Rose for cream blush. So taking that on the back of my hand first of all, patting my brush onto the back of my hand to build up that product, and then going in and putting it on my cheeks, because I don't want to apply it directly to my cheeks because I don't want a big blot of the product there and then. I want to build it up nice and softly to create that really lovely blend on my cheeks. And because this is one of the P. Louise coloured bases, this is one of those products that will stay all day, and I'm tapping it into the skin to make sure that it is melded with all of those skin products before, so it's just a lovely seamless blend of colour. Now it is time for the highlight, so I'm taking the Made by Mitchell Blush Lights in the shade Pink Lynx. Again, tapping it onto the back of my hand first, building it up on my brush, and then applying it onto the skin to just create this lovely seamless blend. And this is quite pigmented. The only reason that I'm using it as highlight or sort of like a blush topper right now is because I am tanned, so I'm actually dark enough to be able to get away with this. But you can apply it nice and lightly if you only want a sheen, but I'm going heavy-handed because this is stunning. And then also applying it to my forehead just to make sure that that hint of colour is a little bit everywhere on my skin to make a nice cohesive look. And then here I'm just making sure to go back in and powder underneath that winged line just to make sure that there's no sort of highlight there. Like, I'm putting this powder down to make sure that everything that I want to be matte and to stay in place is matte. Next up is powder bronzer, so I'm using the Doll Beauty Give Me Sun in the shade Medium, and I'm just going down here with a big fluffy brush to just lightly contour my nose, so going down the sides and then tackling the bottom of the nose as well, just to create a nice bit of shadow that meets from that eyeshadow look down to my nose. Now going in and just patting over where my cream bronzer is. This is just to add a little bit more depth to the look and also set that cream bronzer in place to make sure that that is not budging throughout the day. Now to just liven up my brows, I'm going in with the Misguided Beauty Give Me Brow, and I don't know what shade this is. It's some sort of medium brown shade. It's nothing too intense. And this is just to create some hair-like strokes just to fill in the tail of my brow. So for mascara, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, and I'm taking it from the very bottom, the bottom base of my lashes, and then dragging and pulling it through to give that nice curl to them, because I'm going to be wearing a very natural false lash. It's only being on the outer corners, so I need to make sure that my actual lashes are looking nice and full.
So I've just put some corner lashes on to just finish off the look, and I think what I will do is just put some lippy on, do my hair, and I will be back for the finished look. Hello, so I have just put on my P. Louise lip liner in the shade Achievements, and then I am going to go in with the Made by Mitchell blush in Peach Sugar for the centre of my lips. And then also going in with a bit of the blush lights in the shade Candy Trip, which is like this pinky gloss. And that is the lipstone, so I'm just going to quickly as well, while I'm here, I'm also wanting to tightline my top lash line and also the bottom lash line. So just taking a flat brush.
So now I'm just going in and adding a coat of mascara to my bottom lashes. This is the Misguided Oh High Lash Mascara. Really like this for my bottom lashes. Next up, going in with the MAC Fix Plus spray just to melt all of those powders together. And yes, I'm just using a fan to make sure that I don't disrupt my eye makeup going in with this spray. And then for a bit of body shimmer, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Body Oil. So just pumping that onto my shoulders and just buffing it in. And I literally do this all over because I just want that glow. I don't want a really, really glowy face, okay? And then some sad, crusty body. No, thank you. So shoulders and chest and even down my legs, I think I went, because I was just very, very bougie. Very bougie today.
So here is the finished makeup look. It's something just really glowy, soft glam. It's a Saturday, it's brunch. I needed something nice that I can feel comfortable going out in, and yes, here it is. Now, this will last all day because I started off with my skin prep for the day. I put a face mask on for about half an hour. I've used the best primers that I have to really lock in that moisture. And I have set my face with the powders where I've needed and the setting spray. So this is the long-lasting makeup that I need today. And this glow that my skin has at the moment, I'm living for. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.